Alexander Fedorov. Alexander is a member of the Brotherhood of Friends program. He is an artist and designer. You know, I just realized now how different all our artists are, completely with different techniques, with different directions. I believe Alexander is an entirely unique project, also highly comprehensive, encompassing and engaging in a multitude of workshops throughout the process. Please turn on Alexander's video presentation. Sasha, tell me about it.
What was the concept? As the story goes, he evolved from creating graphic posters that were dedicated to his hometown and the underappreciated modernism found within it. After that, he became immersed in the whole era when this architecture was being created, in particular lettering, inscriptions that have disappeared. Then I initiated to contemplate how these vanishing structures should be preserved in some manner or form. I made 3D models for AR and printing. So on the screen right now, for example, is a part of the AR universe, so to speak, of Tashkent modernism. Building facades, of course, didn't stay in their original state over time. These are samples that show their evolution. This is already the process of direct work in a 3D workshop. We spot errors in model construction. Currently, I am pouring the dessert, as I called it. I am utilizing a silicone contour mold to create a copy that will be printed on a 3D plastic mold for further processing and refinement. Concrete facade forms. Additionally, all of this should operate within a universe where there are contemporary videos as well as archival videos originating from films in which the primary participant is none other than the city itself. Another power plant authorized me to work in an audio workshop. I am currently writing a soundtrack for all of this and creating an audio guide. And most importantly, what is in all of this is the stories of people, significant occurrences that occurred in these structures. Because I referred to it as the entirety of the architectural works from the period of historical optimism. Brighter, it appears to me there was no such period in the 20th century in our regions where we were raised and currently reside. More or less free, but at the same time prosperous. The 90s weren't free, things were weird for us. However, I currently have this project which is multi-platform in nature, and it keeps expanding and evolving with the addition of new layers and functionalities over time. I did not even say not in layers, but in new facets, because I am planning, you know, how I am trying to do all this so that this universe, so to speak, is visible firsthand, and it is like an exhibition, you know. So, like, I'm making these forms to create screens that simulate facades onto which archival videos will be projected with my soundtrack, and the stories of people who were interviewed directly, you know what I mean? These stories aren't usually written in textbooks or architectural guides, but they're an integral part of architecture because how people influence society and changes in society influence architecture and vice versa. Your surroundings shape your mindset. And despite the fact that this period is considered one of the free periods, a period of free thinking of sorts, it is no worse than the real ones, but it was precisely in that time that he tried to capture it. And these values are relevant right now. As modernism became relevant, so did the values that were established at that particular point in time have remained relevant and applicable up until now. I am also intending to, furthermore, I am in the process of gathering young photographers who have grown up with these buildings, and each of them is required to add the most valuable photo in their opinion, which characterizes the moment in the most impactful way possible. Furthermore, when I began, I had absolutely no knowledge or understanding of technology. I knew there was 3D, that there were 3D printers that they print, but how do they print? What kind of plastic? So at this point in time, it is a tremendously significant and thrilling educational stage for me, both from a practical standpoint and from the perspective of theoretical structures. This is because I am currently working with silicone, plastic, PLA plastic, concrete, cement, and now I have the opportunity to work with sound, which adds a whole new dimension to my creative endeavors. Furthermore, I acquired a wealth of knowledge. For instance, the upcoming structure is in a dilapidated condition, and it features incredibly intricate reliefs that are not capable of being reproduced through conventional printing methods. To start with, it is difficult to locate images, as you can solely come across linear forms lacking any three-dimensional representations. And I was told by a pro that they say you can cut this out, for example, from glass with a laser. I am present. You have the option to add, but you also have the ability to perform this action. Furthermore, there are numerous components of the project that are currently being influenced by the technologies I observed at the GES event. And I even thought there that you could try to cut out some moments, not even from plastic, but from plywood, for example. Try one of the simplest buildings. Understandably, the buildings there are complex, intricate, can't be easily cut out. Well, it's easier to do it on a 3D printer. But overall, the process is fascinating and quite immersive, so to speak, and there is the same kind of interaction going on. An idea arises or some technology actually pushes you and you think, oh, you can do it like this, and it's really great when technology reflects the idea, the concept, when they are connected, and not just because technology itself is separate and you came up with how to simply attach it to something, to some place. Here you go. As they say, the spectrum and range of what could be included in this, so to speak, my multiverse, has expanded even further, and the project has conceptually strengthened in various forms, shapes, and manifestations. In numerous sections of the document, which in my perspective, if it commenced with prints, then all the production forces of the swivels can be involved in one of my projects, as it seems to me based on my observations and analysis. From sound design to silkscreen printing, we offer photo studio services for all your creative needs. All right, of course, you gotta do everything step by step, because doing it all at once is pretty much impossible. Here we go. Here I am. I never thought it would all turn out like this, and I'm really grateful and happy that I ended up with such a good friendship with the crew, like a real gang of friends.